Welcome to an overview of the new online student orientation at George Brown College. George Brown College's School of Liberal Arts and Sciences offers an increasing number of online electives. Online electives are appealing to students, but many times students are unaware of the technical requirements and academic commitment required for success. Online courses tend to have higher dropout rates. Therefore, we offer in-person orientations to online learning at 2 campuses. However, the college has several other campuses and many students cannot make these times. The goal of the modules here is to serve any new online students who might need an anytime, anywhere orientation that will increase their readiness for successful online learning. The modules hopefully will encourage dialogue and connection to the college and services and provide structure to support the learner in this new world. The target audience is new online learners. They are diverse in age and background and could come from any diploma or degree program at the college. The orientation is split into 6 modules. Each module could take up to 1 hour to complete. Some students may already be familiar with the learning management system Blackboard. Students may navigate through numbered modules in sequence or may bypass modules where they are familiar with content and move on to desired topics. Upon successful completion of the modules, students will be able to assess their readiness for online learning and locate resources to increase their readiness. Log on to the learning management system Blackboard, resolve basic technical problems, and find appropriate assistance if needed. Navigate an online course to become familiar with tools, methods, and course requirements. Understand and effectively use communication and interactive tools. Submit assignments and complete online tests and surveys, and gain an understanding of appropriate learning and study strategies for online learning. Each module begins with an introduction and objectives and a visual with the highway signpost. This first module asks students to assess their readiness for online learning and shows them where to find helpful resources. An embedded website provides an opportunity for students to reflect on their personal attributes, computer skills, and computer and internet access. On selecting options, they get immediate feedback. The next couple of pages connect students to the school's Tutoring and Learning Center, PAL centers, peer help, computer access, and the computer store. Students are asked to do either a web tour of the centers or go in person. Information here about computer skills courses and open access labs. In this final section of the module, students are given pointers on how to be successful in an online course. In the final Connect activity of this module, students are given resources to investigate to learn more about successful online learning. They are asked to reflect on what they need to work on to become successful online. They are asked to make a prioritized list and then write what they will do to address each item. They are then asked to think of one thing they could do to start today. The main goal of Module 2 is to ensure students know how to log on to Blackboard and troubleshoot problems. Using Camtasia, I created a video which goes over the Blackboard orientation page, which contains the link to the learning management system and help information. The next section goes over browser check information. It starts with basic definitions. The video embedded here explains the browser check process in detail. The page also has an activity that asks students to do a real browser check. Module 2 ends with a 5-question self-check activity that gives them immediate feedback and reinforces key concepts. Module 3's main goals are to familiarize students with the tools and navigation system in Blackboard so they can quickly understand and navigate their online course, and to provide them with some tips for success. An embedded video demonstrates the tools and navigation. Additional tips are given with graphics and text. An embedded interactive activity allows students to navigate within a simulated course in a step-by-step process. The final activity of this module asks students to log on to their real course to use the tools and locate course content. In Module 4, students will learn about the communication tools and when to use which tool. They'll also learn some tips for using the tools effectively. An embedded video created with Camtasia and a PDF give an overview of the discussion tool. Basic information is given about writing effective postings. A brief written section and a video describe Netiquette. And an activity has students go online in their real course to create their first discussion post. A brief explanation of announcements is given. An embedded self-paced activity gives an overview of mail, and an activity has them post an email message in their real online course. An embedded activity has students interact in a simulated course to use the discussion tool. Module 4's End activity has students reflect on how they can use these communication tools for their learning. It also has them think about possible learning networks beyond their course that could be helpful to them. Module 5 gives students an overview of online tests and grades tools in Blackboard. The test tool in Blackboard is not straightforward and sometimes frustrates students. The module discusses the tools and gives advice on resources for different types of assessments. An embedded video gives an overview of how to take a Blackboard test. Some tips on effective use of assessment tools are given, and students are asked to visit 2 websites to reflect on how the information might help them take different types of tests. In this embedded interactive element, students in a simulated course review the assessment tool. Students are asked to log on to their real course to review what tests will be given. They are asked to reflect on the differences between in-class tests and online tests. This embedded element gives an overview of the grades tool. In the final activity of Module 5, students log on to Blackboard to view the grades tool and to reflect on how they will use it for their learning. The goal of Module 6 is to familiarize students with assignment tools and to review proper documentation practices. An embedded video gives an overview of how to use the assessment tool to locate information and submit assignments. Tips for writing assignments are given. Some tips for using Web 2.0 collaborative tools are also included. A section on plagiarism that I previously created is included. Students complete an interactive self-assessment about plagiarism to see what they know. Then, a couple of pages explain what plagiarism is and how to avoid it. More resources to help with documentation are also given. An embedded activity has students work through assessment tools in a simulated course. The final comprehensive quiz is split into 6 sections so that students can select the modules they covered, but also self-test on modules they may not have covered. Each section has 5 multiple-choice questions that give immediate feedback. The final comprehensive assignment is for students to make a personal learning plan for their online course. First they reflect, then they set goals, then they get organized, then they compile information, and then they create a plan. The next 2 pages are about frequently asked questions and help. Here, 15 frequently asked questions on technical problems, course problems, and communication problems are included. The last page is a list of helpful George Brown websites. Thank you for listening. Any questions?